Normally, for humans like you and me, and your pets, it feels good to help someone. But if you're a pile of straw, a pile of coal, or even a simple bean, then this fairy tale isn't for you. Fortunately, I don't know of anybody who would be any of those things, so I guess it's safe to tell this story. And seeing how they're 3 different characters, this story's a great one to celebrate our 3rd season with. And it's called The Straw, the Coal, and the Bean. A bean and a hot coal met each other on the high road, and as they were both rolling along in the same direction, they soon struck up a friendship. Presently, they were joined by a straw, and the 3 began talking together. They were all going out in the world to seek their fortunes.
"It is just a bit of luck that I can travel about in this way,"
said the bean.
"If I had not been a stout, active fellow, I would have been boiled into soup by now. The mistress was about to throw me into the pot with a lot of other beans, but I managed to slip through her fingers and rolled out through the doorway and down the steps without her even noticing I was gone."
"That too was a clever trick,"
said the hot coal.
"I too am a lively chap. I and my brothers were set to heat a kettle, but I jumped out of the fire, and I was so hot the cook did not dare to touch me. She pushed me out of doors with her foot, and now I am free to go about the world as I choose and seek my fortune."
The straw sighed.
"I was never as active as that,"
she said.
"Always wherever the wind blew me, I went. The farmer had picked up a whole armful of straws to make a bed for the cow, but the wind caught me up and carried me off, and here I am."
While they were talking in this way, the comrades came to a brook, and this stopped their journey, for they did not know how to get across. The straw could easily have sailed over on the first puff of wind, but that way would not do for the other 2.
"Listen,"
said the straw.
"I am long enough to reach from one side of the stream to the other. I will lay myself across it like a bridge, and then you can both walk on over me without getting wet."
To this plan, the other 2 were glad to agree, so the straw laid herself across the stream.
"You go first,"
said the bean, for he was a cautious fellow and wanted to see whether the bridge was safe before he tried it. The coal, however, was quick and fiery. He ran out on the straw, but halfway over, he grew dizzy and had to stop.
"Quick, quick!"
cried the straw,
"I am burning!"
for the coal was still very hot.
"Wait,"
said the coal, balancing himself.
"just a minute."
But the straw could not wait even for a minute. The coal had burned through it, and down they both went into the water, the coal hissing as it fell. That seemed so comical to the bean that it began to laugh. It laughed and laughed. It laughed so hard that at last it split its skin. And that would have been the end of it if a tailor had not chanced to come by just then.
"Help! Help!"
cried the bean. The tailor looked all about him, and then he saw the bean lying on the ground. He picked it up, and it did not take him long to see what was the matter with it. "This slit can easily be mended," he said, and he whipped out his needle and thread and sewed up the bean in a trice. Unluckily, he had only black thread, and the stitches made a line of black down the side of the bean. And ever since then, if you look, you will see that every bean of that kind has a black line down one side of it. I think it's safe to say there's a moral to this story that all 3 characters should have learned, especially the straw. You shouldn't leave the place in which you've been put, as you cannot escape your fate. If you enjoy great stories like this one, please click the like button and follow Tristan Storytime on social media.